Alright, so we're back on this GEM computer. Those of you that watched the live stream today, if you guessed this, congratulations. There's a free internet like. So, I don't know or care what's on this hard drive. It is a Maxtor 200 gigabyte, manufactured December, Christmas of 2003. Cool. Some poor soul, some poor person was working on Christmas to make this thing. I hope it still works. I hope you did good, whoever you were. So we're going to. I need to find what I did with that XP copy as well. If you watched that video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Apparently, I wasn't that concerned with putting all the screws in. I only put two on here and then one on the top. There was supposed to be two other screws to hold the hard drive tray to the front of the body. You know, I have not had lunch yet, and it's probably after 3 o'clock. Actually, my phone was off while I was shooting that video for the heater. By the way, I'm shooting another video right now. I'm actually shooting a few. If you watched the live stream that occurred, you'll know that I'm probably going to need some time for grieving. That was just an email. But yeah, it's 3:16, or as I usually like to put it, 15:16 in the afternoon. I have not had lunch yet. That's how dedicated I am to making these videos. So this came out of a weird, like a RAID storage device that somebody gave me. It's an old USB one. They're all, parallel drives. So, and this side's only held on by one. And it's a 200 gigabyte. I don't know what else. I don't know what's on it. I don't really care. The person said they don't care about the data that's on it. And by the way, if you end up watching my review on this heater, it actually feels pretty good in here. It's 51, or it's about 40, upper 40s right now. And it's very windy out. So this was a Seagate 60 gigabyte hard drive. This was during the time where they had the firmware issues, if I'm not mistaken. Or it just kind of decided to suck. And I'm not even sure that the problem is the hard drive, so I can't really say, I don't really want to say, oh, it's because these are crappy Seagate drives. Some of us are old enough to remember that Seagate had a problem years ago, and it was a bad firmware issue, and they recalled these drives. They did the right thing, but there were many online retailers. Actually, I could name one because they're no longer in business. That they didn't care. They just sold them anyway, and I broke one of my #1 rules, which was to not tighten everything until, or not tighten anything until everything's in. But so they weren't really. I don't really blame Seagate. There was a firmware issue. It was at the end of the IDE drives and beginning of the SATA era, and most of them, like I said, they recalled the drives like they should have, and these retailers, one in particular being Geeks.com, I hate to say it, but I got several of these bad drives from them, and then they said that there was no warranty on them, which I didn't read. I didn't read the fine print. It used to be ComputerGeeks.com, somebody suggested me to them, and I had gotten a lot of really good stuff from them. I built my first quad-core computer off of there. It was the Core 2 Quad. I ended up not liking the motherboard I got because I bought a package that had the motherboard, processor, and I think 512 megs of RAM. And boy, did I learn that 512 megs of RAM was not good for quad core. Well, I mean, not necessarily quad core, but what I was trying to do with it. And I also bought this 1 gig video card. Like, this was when I was kind of not really as into computers as I am today. Like, I just, I enjoyed playing with them. I didn't have, like, the knowledge. So I'm like, oh, a 1 gig video card is definitely going to be better than a 256 meg video card. Turns out, wow, that wind is crazy. This whole thing just shook. So I am going to zoom out a little bit. Find out who's texting me. Behind? Hold on one second. Dude, I got 2 phone calls and like 3 text messages during that time. So I just took that time to set up the monitor. I'm kind of annoyed I forgot to bring a mouse pad, and this mouse does not like the surface of this table. And I also tried to adjust the monitor higher, but so I could kind of have both in the picture in a different way, at least. And I can't get this monitor to stand to move, and usually I don't know, whatever. So I'm just rambling at this point. So what we're going to do, I think it's delete. So we're going to go ahead and turn this bad boy on. This is an 8 megabyte Trident thingy. We're going to make sure that it sees the hard drive, as well as put in our Windows XP CD. I could grab a wireless, actually I have a wireless internet card, but I'm not going to do that. I could bring my thing in from outside. But let's see. So boot sequence I want to do as CD-ROM CA. I'm just gonna, I don't want to mess with anything in there. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. So I'm gonna go back in. You know what? I'm thinking that this monitor is the problem, because I just saw some I don't know if you can see that. I think this monitor is actually bad, because I don't know if you remember my IBM Aptiva video. There was an issue where there was a lot of corruption on the screen, even more so than in Washington, and just couldn't get it to go away. It's definitely the monitor. It's something in the auto sync on the monitor. So it is a max, it is showing the hard drive. We'll go ahead and boot from the CD. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and have you sit through as much of this as I did before. I might actually go back to filming the heater video. I want to go ahead and try to get more, because I have it on low and it's pretty quiet. I mean, like in here you can already hear the generator, I'm sure. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what, if this all looks like a blur in my picture. I don't know if you can see. There's a boat right next to me. There's a trailer that has some sort of smoker built into the back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just see if it goes any further. I tried a different IDE cable on the previous hard drive and that didn't work. So it's either motherboard or hard drive, and I think that's why this got put away. I want to see how the hard drive is partitioned. Sorry about this. It's gonna be real fun when I'm doing this in the summer and we have a freaking air conditioning going. But yeah, I just want to see real quick what this partitioning looks like on this hard drive. I don't think I even got to put in my CD key last time. So it is just one large. Wow, there is definitely files on it. It's only got 80 gigs out of 200 free. I almost feel bad doing this, but they said no, but they didn't care. So I'm going to go ahead and possibly do some other stuff while this is going, and I will get back to you with the verdict of what's going on. So I've shot a couple videos, and I've attempted to shoot a couple more, and then I shot another one. While this is doing this, we're at 78%. I'm really regretting having the generator in the bed of my truck, because I could move it while it's running, but I don't want to risk cutting power in the middle of a format. I don't remember what time I mentioned it. It was like 3 o'clock. It's now 4:23. It was like probably 4:30 when I started doing this. And you know, it's just crazy that I forgot how long this stuff takes. And yeah, so we are pretty much just waiting on this to format, and then I will get back to you. So, but I will mention this while this is going. My intention on a video, like one of the videos I was trying to shoot before, was I wanted to shoot this with my webcam, and I have this cool new device from Behringer. It is the Euphoria UM2? Yeah, UM2. It is a USB microphone interface, so that I can, you know, on the front of it's got the microphone stuff, on the back has a USB port so that I can plug this bad boy. Nice little stand. I like this. Alright, so we're at 99% now, finally. It took a while. It is 4:42, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to make sure that this will reboot and actually boot from the hard drive, at which point I'm going to shut things down because I am starving, and I really want to get something to eat. And you hear the hard or the CD-ROM spin. And please don't take several minutes. Man. So right now we're copying the files on. I forgot all about this because I would have started the next section here, or started the section here, but I forgot about that. Yeah, I can't believe I haven't eaten lunch. I ate probably around 8:30 this morning, and I'm actually starting to get like stomach cramps. Like I was sitting a little funny, and I had a stomach cramp, and I actually had one of those like. So that's how this ends moments. But I think I'm going to go ahead and hit Wawa on my way home. But man, it's just been a crazy day. I just want to see. This hard drive is actually pretty quiet. The CD-ROM, or yeah, actually it is a CD-ROM. Well, it's a CD burner is actually louder than the hard drive. So this is actually going to be probably filmed over the course of 2 days. I'm probably going to do this Saturday after I do the very unpleasant thing that I have to do. Again, if you watched the live stream I did on, what's today? Today is Thursday, January 16th. Simply called Surprise Live Stream. Somewhere in there I'll ramble about what I have to do. And it's not going to be pleasant. By the time you see this, it'll have already been done, obviously. Or I might do this as a two-parter, and I don't know, that sounds like the lazy way out, don't it? But I need a... I need to get some food. Is this still on? No. I have a lot of crap in my camera I have to go through. That's weird. It just, I've never seen it do that before. Oh yeah, that heater's been pretty good. It's not like hot in here, but and there's definitely some wind coming in from areas, but it is doing pretty good actually. And the generator is doing quite well, keeping up with it. I mean, it's definitely warm here by the on the floor. Please wait. Yeah, this is definitely a. Yeah, they definitely slimlined things with Vista. I know many don't like it, but what are Vista's minimum requirements? I'm curious. We're going to find out together. Please don't comment before you yeah, before I bring this up. Windows Vista system requirements. An 800 megahertz processor and a 512 megs of RAM. I believe this is a 5 or 833. We'll see that in a minute. But if that's the case, I can probably put Vista on here as a challenge. A 20 gig hard drive. But let's see if this will actually boot. Yeah, 850 megahertz. I don't remember how much RAM is in here. I think it's either 128 or 256. And for whatever reason, that's not showing that. Oh wait, this is a Celeron. Wait, did that just say Celeron? I think that just said Celeron. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot it up to the next screen. And because actually right now it should be... I really don't want to... You know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this because I don't think it's really going to take 39 minutes. It usually doesn't. I just wish I had because I thought it was going to ask me for like the it was going to come up with a screen asking me for a username and all that. But even if I reboot it now, it'll still come up to where it belongs. I really don't want to. You know what? I made it this far. Let's just see what I can do. I will. I am not going to cancel it or do this in 2 stages. I'm going to do this today. Saturday, I have a 486 project going on, and we'll see how that goes. But I'll be back in a few minutes. I don't know what the deal is. I had a hard time getting it to take the CD key, and as you can tell by, you might be able to tell by the light in that it is getting dark here. So I don't know if I really want to mess around for the next 26 minutes, but I'm going to do it for you guys. I am really, really hungry. I don't like the fact that that CD drive almost sounded like sandpaper. But yeah, so I have got quite a few videos to edit when I get home. One of which will probably be up on the on tonight, but by that time you've already seen it. So I think for right now I'm going to start packing things up so that I can just basically take my camera and leave. So I'll get back to you guys in a few minutes. I got my lights on now. As you can see, we're pretty far along. It's showing 8 minutes, which like it's only been like 5 since the last clip I shot. But I was thinking about something with the fact that this system is an 800 megahertz or 833. And I think we discovered it was a Celeron. Oh god, that hurts. I had a stomach cramp from being so hungry. I meant to grab food on my way in here and I forgot. It might also have something to do with how cold that water is too. It's caused me a cramp. But anyway, I got to thinking, it's crazy the time that XP ran. I mean, you had the XP minimum requirements was like, what did we discover was like a 233 megahertz. Let me go in here. Yeah, 233 megahertz with at least 64 megs of RAM. You know, like back in the day, like that was a killer Windows 98, Windows ME, even Windows 95 system. But you know, by the time XP came about, that was kind of weird. But like, so that ran on single core 233 megahertz computers, and when I had my Core 2 quad Q6600 as my daily driver, I had XP on that for a very long time. So that thing ran everything from, that operating system ran everything from 200 megahertz or 233 megahertz computers. And I had, what sucked was because Windows XP 64 had such terrible driver support, I had to run 32-bit on it, so I could only do 4 gigs of RAM. So, you know, you went from 64 megabytes of RAM on a 233 megahertz system up to, you know, a quad core 2.4 gigahertz running 4 gigs of RAM. And, you know, I don't know what the limit would be for 64, because nobody ever had drivers that worked for that. Oh, wait, this mouse works fine on here. That's another keyboard for another video. So I don't even remember how much memory I had in this thing. So we're going to find out together. And we're also going to find out if this is a Celeron or a Pentium. But I can't help but to play with this camera mount. Again, link in the description. So it has a 6Y200P0 hard drive model number, which you probably saw. But we are going to witness the first boot of Microsoft Windows XP Home Edition. I've never ran Home Edition. This is literally like probably the second time I've ever had this on a computer. Yeah, I think this monitor is kind of foobar. If you're not familiar with the term foobar, you've probably never been in the military or around people who were in the military. I was never military, but I grew up with a lot of family who were. Yeah, this is all corrupted. We're going to skip network because I don't have anything. We're not going to register Windows because I don't care. Thank you. Finish. Take me to my desktop, please. I hung it out for you guys. I've only been here a couple hours. I left work at 2 o'clock, so, and it's 5:09 now. I think I got here around 2:30 or so. But obviously there's nothing on this computer to discover, and I don't know. Okay, so it's registered to Eric's Variety Channel, 850 megahertz Celeron, 128 megs of RAM. Yeah, like I don't know if this is because of the graphics card or not, or what, but this is all kinds of corrupted. Unless I'm just trying to push this graphics card to something it can't handle. No. No, this monitor is about to die. So there might have been nothing wrong with that IBM Aptiva. Yeah, I don't know if you can. Let me zoom in on these cards. If you think, like, that has nothing to do with my camera. You can see when I move these cards, watch the line here. Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, Anyway, so this system works, and it seems to work just fine. Oh god, my stomach. But I think I'm going to go ahead and shut things down here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I just did something stupid. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed a second look at this system, because I didn't. So now we know it was definitely the hard drive, and for the most part there's really nothing wrong with the system itself, unless this is because of the graphics card. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut things down here. I don't really feel like playing solitaire, and the system actually runs pretty smooth. So anyway, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check the description and all that kind of crazy stuff.